Like, because this was pre-COVID, you were about to move to Seattle, a whole other state. Like, how did you picture that experience being like, and then how it ended up being like? Hey, welcome to Just Adulting. Today I have my friend Tim, and we're just going to talk about life after school, post-grad, and whatnot. So, I guess, Tim, has it been what you expected?
Yeah, I think what I expected probably was mostly just more freedom and like, not really freedom even, just more options, more choices.
Yeah.
And I feel like, yeah, it's definitely been, like since graduating, I've definitely been able to make more decisions for myself, I guess. That's something that I was looking forward to. And I guess, I mean, it is a little underwhelming, like it's less than I thought it would be, I guess. But at the same time, it is what I expected at the same time as being less than I expected, if that makes sense.
Honestly, I feel like because of the pandemic, it's changed so many things because it's like, okay, adulting, but then you're just at the house all the time. You work from home. Home is work, everything. So that has been mostly, and both of us, we've like been very isolated people staying in our apartments. So
yeah, like within like less than a year of us graduating, and we got locked down. So like most of our life as adults, or a majority, like a good portion of it has been under lockdown. yeah, because it's like, okay, you graduate and it's like, oh, okay, have more to do, what can I do, maybe go to this place and all of this stuff, but just at the house, not doing much. Yeah, and I'm not even sure like if we have more free time. I feel like I do and I don't have more free time just because
really
I'm working 9 to 5 still, right, or 8 to 5, whatever. But like, I mean, I definitely have more free time just because I was working like 2 jobs during school. But other than that, like, I just felt like. But then you have to think about like PTO. Like you don't really get that much. Like if you think about it, we had whole summers off, and now it's like think about how little PTO we get. It's like maybe a month. Yeah, but funny thing for me, weirdly, like for us, my company, we do something called trusted time off, so you don't have a set amount of time. But I feel like it felt weird taking time off. I don't know if you ever felt like that. Yeah, I feel like even if it's like trusted time off, it's kind of like negative psychologically. Psychologically, it's like I don't want to take that time off, but I can. But I'd say after working for about 10 months now, I understand why people take vacations. And even working from home, I feel like there is not that line that subtracts you from just being at the house compared to work. Because sometimes I'll just be sitting there on my couch and I see my computer right there. I've had so many dreams. It's weird. I'll take a nap and it relates to work. And I'm like, what the heck is it? It's like I can't remove myself from it. It's not separate. Yeah, like everything is just there. Yeah, I agree. I think it's also the other thing about taking time off. It's like I'm at home anyway. Like if I take time off, I'm still at home. So like you're still seeing your work. And like it's just we both work on our laptops. We both fly like from home. So it's like if you're home and even if you're sick, like it's like it doesn't really hurt to work. Like you're not endangering anyone else. So I feel like that's another reason why like taking off. Yeah, that's how I felt, but then like things had gotten, September was like a crazy busy month, so because of that, man, if you say a day off, I'm like, yes, like I appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's still nice. Always looking forward to the weekends. Yeah, still, it's so bad, right? Just it's the same as like in school. You're like looking forward to the weekends, still looking forward to the weekends. Yeah, but I feel like I watch a lot more shows nowadays. Like the amount of shows I finish shows. Yeah, no, I definitely have more free time. I feel like I'm not really sure like how much where it's going. It's just kind of weird, because like this year has just gone by so fast. Yeah, it has so far. It's been. I feel like it's already October and I just feel like by so quick. Like I even moved way through and everything from Seattle. So like, I guess talk about like, how was your experience? Like, cause this was pre-COVID, you were about to move to Seattle, a whole other state. Like, how did you picture that experience being like, and then how it ended up being like? Yeah, so I did get to live in Seattle before the lockdown a little bit. And it was nice. It was what I expected. I've always wanted to be in Seattle, and I finally got to go. And just being there, it was really nice. It was everything I expected with them. like less than a year, like really shortly after, it was everything locked down. And yeah, and like in Seattle, they were the first people, like we were the first ones to get it up there.
Yeah, it was big in Seattle.
So we locked down like early, like end of February even. Maybe early March thing. But then, yeah, by like the middle of March or even towards the end, like everything was pretty much locked down there. And so it was interesting because like I was really stuck indoor, and at first I didn't really do much. I just kind of started sitting in my apartment for the most part and doing stuff at home. But eventually, as it went on, I was like, I'm just gonna like go to the park every Sunday or something, take a walk. And like there's like this dog or this park next to my house where like they have a huge dog park, and I just like looking at all the dogs and walking. Even though I couldn't have my own. I mean, I couldn't, I guess, but I didn't have my own dog. But I'd walk through like the dog park section. Like I wish I had a dog.
Do you feel like you miss being a student? Because a lot of people graduate and then they say they go through post-grad depression. Because when you think about it, up to this point of after graduation, the system or America, you've been told what to do. You've gone through elementary, middle school. You've been doing everything to reach this point, and now you're at this point, and it's like, okay, what next? What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, for me, no, not at all. I've not missed being a student. I'd much rather be where I am now than be back in school. But at the same time, one thing that I didn't like, well, that was really, that kind of sucked, was that I moved to Seattle, right? And then COVID happened, and so I didn't really get to go out that much. So I didn't really know many people. Like here in Houston, we know a lot of people. We went to school here.
Yeah.
My family's here. And it was like, yeah, that was one thing that I did miss going up there. But I didn't really miss like going back to school at all. No.
Yeah, okay. I feel you.
What about you,
For me, I feel like everything in life has a time and a place, and I feel as though that was my time and it was over with. I think I had also been mentally preparing for graduation like a year before, even just the kind of internships I had been looking for.
We both knew we were going to graduate early.
We
wanted to get out early.
So so that was like in the mind, and so like, okay, I'm trying to look for a job before I graduate. But then some people, they wait till after graduation to figure out what's next. So I think it's just important to be planning ahead and thinking about those things ahead of time.
I think that one thing that made us think about that was like being in the business school, and they have that big focus on getting a job there more than other places, I would say.
That's very
especially
true.
like medical school, because like, or all these science like all the science degrees, because like most of those, they go straight to like grad school.
Yeah, so
they're
know
not
what
really
they're
looking
doing.
for jobs. Like they're going to grad school, so they're like applying to that instead. Or things like that, or like sometimes they take like a year off or do research or something. Like they do, it's different like being in business or like engineering, where you're more focused at like getting a job, which is why I think we were more focused like on that earlier rather than later.
Yeah, very true. Do you ever feel like some kind of pressure to have everything, I guess, ready for the future? Because there's this book I'm reading right now. It's called The Defining Decade and Why Your 20s Matter. Because a lot of times people are like, oh, 20s are just a year to do whatever, just have fun. But a lot of the decisions you make now, they impact everything, because now you have less responsibility. You have the flexibility to try different things. So do you feel ever like you need to have everything in order for the future?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I definitely save like a big chunk of my money and things like that. And like I have been thinking about like, why am I getting an apartment when like I could just invest, like save up for a house or something?
House.
And, like,
wow.
And like it would be a bigger investment in the future. And I think of these things, but in the end, I feel like it's more of like, I don't know. I feel like it's important to live now in the moment, but at the same time, it is important to think about
have the future in mind. That's true. Because another thing, go check out my video, y'all, about how life is short. Because a lot of people had all these plans for what they were going to do 2020 or doing things later, and it didn't happen. So you literally never know what could happen. God forbid, like you get in any kind of accident or something like that. But just enjoying where you're at now, because there is going to be a time that you just have so much and you become busier. Like the busyness, I feel like it only increases. So it's whenever you can find the time to do those things that you want to do, that you're able to do, just honestly just do those things.
Oh yeah, that's another thing for sure. Yeah, I agree. I definitely think like if you don't like take initiative, you're always gonna be like, I can do it later. But it's like
procrastination.
It's really like a thing where if there's something you want to do, like there's no better time than the present. Like not to be cliche or anything, but it's like
no time like the present.
It's very true. Like it's just if you put something off, you're just gonna keep doing it. So it's like,
that's true.
Yeah, either like plan for a time when you want to do something, or like just do it straight away. That's how I feel. Like a lot of my time definitely is like watching YouTube or like TV.
Netflix
that I could be doing like I always like there are stuff that I want to do, and like at the same time it's just a lot of times I catch myself at like Netflix or YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, because I won't lie, tomorrow is November, and I'm like, what have I done this year? Like, legit, what have I done this year? Because I've just been in my apartment the whole time. And of course, like, okay, work has started. I'm learning all these things. It's something, a job that I basically did not prepare for in a sense. So it's been a learning curve, but just thinking about, okay, what happened this year? I think another thing about that is I didn't have goals for this year. This is really bad. Usually every year I write down goals, I write down things that I want to do, but I think I kind of gave myself the excuse of, just get settled, settle in, get comfortable. Yeah. But I've just been here, to be honest, and I mean, that's okay, because I do believe we live in a society that people are always like, okay, are you on your ish? Like, what are you doing? What's next and stuff? So I think it's very important sometimes to just take away, like unplug and engage with yourself and just chill for a while. But also the thing is, you don't want to just become just sitting there, because I won't lie, every day after work, what do? I'm just watching a show. But now I'm starting to think that, like, what do I actually want out of this life, or what's next, because I've always just been so, okay, high school, get those grades so you can get into that university, and you get into the university and then get the job, and now that you get the job, it's like, okay, what's next? I mean, of course, hopefully you hope for
like promotion,
and stuff,
like job growth,
and just learning about what is it you want actually out of a job.
Thanks for watching. Watch out for episode 2.